touch my, like, doesn't even faze me.
Gluttony.
God damn it. It's such a pain in the ass.
When you're always dieting and cutting weight, do you think that makes you like more prone to doing that?
Dude, look at the reason Patty the Baddie gets as big as he is, because it's like you get this mental disorder. I strict as fuck for about 10 weeks before that fight. Like, I'd have a little cheat meal on a Saturday, but the closer we got to the fight, 4 or 5 weeks out, I was just eating so clean to where right after, it's like I'll order 2 cheeseburgers, some appetizers, and just eat until I'm so uncomfortable and so much pain.
Oh my God, look at Patty. I'm going to send you a video, Jamie. This dude he posted today.
Yeah, Patty's, and I'm not, who am I to fucking say, but I mean, I know that's just not good for you. How much, he gets up to 200 pounds. That's like me getting up to like 190. Or 185.
Yeah, that's a lot, dude.
It's sad. It's like, that's not good. But it is. It gives you this mental disorder from eating. But fuck, dude, if you take a couple puffs before dinner, it depends how high you get. There's levels of high. If you just get a nice little high and the food just tastes better and you can just really enjoy it, or you get too high and you go in there and you just feel like a bottomless pit and you're eating the fucking bread and the appetizers, then you're eating your fucking other appetizers, then you're getting fucking 2 cheeseburgers. It's bad sometimes.
Michael Easter was actually just talking about that. He's a guy who wrote this book, The Comfort Crisis, and he wrote this book about a study that they did where they took these guys and they purposely starved them. Play it so he could say it. Michael _ Easter.
All time was over. Scientists had to call it off. So in that study, I talked about it a few weeks ago, they took 36 men, they put them in a lab for 6 months, and they starved them, like really starved them, because they wanted to know what happens to the human body when we significantly decrease our calories and lose a lot of weight. What happens to our bodies? What happens to our minds? What happens to all these different processes? So it was a really enlightening study, told us a lot about weight loss. But where it started to get interesting is that now they have to refeed these guys and bring them back up to a normal weight. And the impacts of the weight loss were very lasting on these guys' behavior. So for one, they binge ate. One guy ate 11,000 calories a day. He had to go to the hospital for eating so much in a meal, and all of them were eating significantly higher calories than when they started. Second is that they obsessed about food. It was on their mind all the time, just as it had been when they were starving. And there's a handful of other really fascinating things that happened that basically ended up bringing these guys above the weight that they started at. So after this crazy diet, they actually ended up heavier. And this can tell us a lot about diets today, how we should approach them, how we should think about eating normally once we've lost weight. There's a link in the bio if you want to learn more. Check it out.
What I love Michael, but hey man, that fucking the voiceover, the captions, it's like missing all these words.
I know that was weird.
Like that's the worst like transcription ever.
It's doing it for free. Like if you had to pay someone to do that.
Well, pay for it, because what is this? You're cutting off all these words. Like, what's the purpose of having it so you can read it if you can't read it? Like, it's like if you're not listening to him and you're reading that, you're like, what is he saying? There's like he's missing like key words.
It's also better than not having it.
Incorrect.
What's just him making it sitting
and
at his chair?
Impacts of weight loss were what does that mean? Guys' behavior. So for one, they binge ate. Let's say, and then it gets to this other one. See here, and he had to go to the hospital for eating what?
Yeah, that
and all of them were eating significantly what than when they started. What?
Yeah, what if you can't hear and you can
can't
only read
that?
It's better than not having it.
You're out of your mind.
No,
you're out of your mind. No, it's
captions on
it's better to not have it than to have it where you can't fucking read it because there's a bunch of words missing.
Well, have you ever watched captions normally? They are about
not that good. That's or not that bad, right? That's pretty bad. Whatever program he's using, that program sucks. Maybe he didn't know.
Probably built in Instagram.
Yeah, it's probably just like a built-in one. But interesting study.
They're that bad? Yeah, very interesting.
That's dude, it's so true. Every fighter will sit here and say the same thing after a fight. If you cut a lot of weight and you make weight, and then I mean, even for me, I still eat really clean leading up to the fight. But dude, I see fighters at the fucking breakfast buffet eating eating shitty fight day because they made weight, or after weigh-ins that night they're eating shitty.
They just want to eat.
I keep it clean until after the fight, and then after the fight I let loose a little bit. But this has been the best I've done. Usually, because for me, bread, cheese causes inflammation. Like I work with a nutritionist, Dan Garner. He's working on a really cool protocol right now, a concussion protocol for me. He's done 10 plus labs for me. I've been working with him for like 5 years. He has a ton of data on me, but we do a bunch of, like right now we'll be in he's making a protocol for me outside of camp to eat, and so he has all my data. But I've been doing a really good job not overeating. This each time it gets a little bit better, and it's a knowledge thing and a discipline thing.
Does he meal prep for you? So he makes you.
He lives in Canada. He writes it out. I have a meal prep company in Arizona, all organics, that makes my food.
Oh, that's
throughout
great.
The entire fight camp.
So they give you the exact portions that you need.
Portions.
Oh, that's great.
Changed the game.
Oh yeah, no have to think about it, right?
I don't really cook. Danny cooked. She would, full-time mom, and she does hair for a living, so she'd work a couple days a week. But so the recharge center in Arizona, it changed the game.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but this one, I mean, I got out of this camp or out of that fight, and I was like, I'm ready to go. I want to fucking get back to the gym. I know how hard of a fight Henry is, how hard of a fight Aljo is, how hard of a fight anybody in the top 5 is. I need to get back to the gym. So I've been really a lot more disciplined. Because I think it's been a month now since the fight, but not eating as much cheese or eating as much bread if I go out to eat, just because I know that fucking causes inflammation in my body, and I know it's gonna take a little bit longer to get back to training. Or if I am training and I eat, too much cheese and bread, it's gonna cause that inflammation, risk an injury, or just be fucking more sore than I need to be. But yeah, eating disorder from cutting weight is a real fucking problem.
It's a real thing, right?
If I fought at my natural weight class, I'd fight at 155. If I didn't cut weight, walk around 58, 59, whatever, I'd fight at 155. There's no fucking chance that I'm going to say, you know what, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to go fight Justin Gaethje. I'm going to go fight Charles. There's no way. I could go fight at 145, I believe, and be successful. I'm not a tiny 35er. Those guys would still even be a little bit bigger, but cutting to 45, I wouldn't. Cutting to 35 is fucking hard. You feel like you're dying. Your heart is pounding. You're laying in bed.
Well, you kind of are dying.
You 100% are dying. Like, I talk to my body. I have to tell it, like, hey, what we're doing fight week. Like, we're gonna start, cutting weight. Like, I try to tell myself, like, we know we're not gonna actually die. We're gonna feel like that or whatever. But I could cut to 45. It'd be a lot easier. Obviously, 55 would be the easiest.